Imagine a mind where concepts remain nebulous, never quite solidifying into distinct, labelable entities. Without words, the very act of categorizing a tree from a bush becomes a fluid, subjective experience, dependent entirely on immediate perception. Could we truly form abstract ideas like justice or future if there's no way to pin them down, to iterate on their meaning, or to share their intricate nuances beyond a fleeting gesture? Our internal monologue, that constant companion, would be replaced by an unbroken stream of raw sensory data and instinctual urges, leaving complex problem-solving akin to a desperate attempt to build a skyscraper using only rudimentary sign language and frustrated grunts. The precision required for even basic conceptual understanding would dissolve, confining intellect to the immediately tangible and experientially derived, a profound limitation on mental capacity. Building anything beyond a temporary shelter requires precise collaboration, something language facilitates through shared understanding of tasks and roles. Without this, how would a group coordinate a complex hunt where one person drives the prey while another anticipates its path? Their attempts might rely on instinctive mimicry and learned patterns, but these lack the adaptability needed for unforeseen variables like a sudden change in wind direction or an unexpected rockfall. Every cooperative endeavor would remain fundamentally limited to the immediate, visible context, making long-term planning for resource management or defense an impossible feat. The very notion of a shared culture, built upon collective narratives and traditions, would crumble into fragmented individual experiences, devoid of any cohesive memory or identity, limiting humanity to small, isolated family units at best. How would knowledge be transferred across generations without written or spoken language? Oral traditions, which are language-dependent, allow the wisdom of elders to guide the young. Without this mechanism, each new generation would effectively start from scratch, relearning basic survival skills through trial and error. The development of tool-making would stall, as intricate techniques and design improvements could not be precisely articulated or recorded. Imagine the immense effort wasted as critical discoveries, perhaps how to forge metal or cultivate specific crops, vanished with the death of their discoverer, leaving future generations to rediscover them in an endless, agonizing cycle. The cumulative progress that defines human civilization would simply not occur. Humanity would be locked in a perpetual present, its past a silent, incomprehensible void. Advanced technology and scientific progress rely on shared abstract concepts and detailed instruction. Consider the construction of even a simple wheel, which requires understanding principles of rotational motion and specific dimensions. Without language, explaining these principles, much less refining them, becomes impossible. Engineering blueprints, scientific hypotheses, and mathematical equations, all cornerstones of innovation, are entirely products of linguistic and symbolic systems. How would complex medical procedures or agricultural techniques evolve if knowledge couldn't be accurately described, debated, and documented? The intricate web of specialized knowledge, where one discovery builds upon another, would unravel, reducing all innovation to accidental, isolated occurrences that could not be replicated or improved upon intentionally. Humanity would remain bound to the most basic, observable cause and effect relationships, never unlocking the deeper mechanisms of the universe, nor building anything beyond the most rudimentary, immediate solutions to problems. What about personal identity, emotions, or abstract concepts like justice and freedom? Our sense of self is deeply intertwined with the narratives we tell ourselves and others about who we are. Without language, this internal narrative and the very concept of an individual story would likely not exist. Emotions would be primal reactions, unnuanced by the complex vocabulary we use to describe and understand feelings like melancholy or serenity. The collective creation of laws, ethical frameworks, or philosophical ideas about rights and responsibilities would be inconceivable. How would a society grapple with questions of fairness or equality without the words to define them, discuss their implications, or build a consensus? Our subjective experience would be reduced to immediate sensation and instinct, lacking the reflective depth and shared meaning that language bestows, creating a version of humanity profoundly alien to our understanding, one existing purely in the unarticulated present.